Welcome, everyone. This is the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan, ready to bring you all the action along with Clark Kellogg and Steve Curry. And time now to take a quick look at our State Farm lineups. One of the guys we'll be watching out for today, Craig Monroe.
Well, Monroe is one of the more promising young big men that we have in the league, Kevin, because of his offensive skill set. He can really pass from the high post. He can go down to the low block and score. He's got that strong left hand. So he's a guy who I think could be a cornerstone for this club for a long time.
I agree with you. I love his game. He's not the most athletic player, but you don't have to be always super athletic to be outstanding as a basketball player. There's more to the game than running and jumping and bouncing and highlight reel. He's able to use his body and create size and space to get his shot off, and his head is really well schooled in the game.
Coming in off the road, the Pistons are back in Detroit for this game. This game against Golden State is the first time they've met this season.
Well, they went 0-2 against them last year, and you know, they feel like they should have done much better. Look for an intense game tonight.
Here's Curry. Brandon Knight picking up that last basket.
Good. Boy, is he spit polished offensively. His ability to break down defenses is one of their driving forces.
A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, Kevin, Mark Jackson gave me a couple of moments. He said that one of the players are keying in on defensively is Rodney Stuckey, adding he loves to use his size and his strength to play bully ball inside and get himself to the line. We've got to be physical with him without fouling. Guys, that'll take discipline. We'll see if they can strike the right balance on defense.
Thanks, Doris. And you're right, Clark. A poor outcome last season. Both of these clubs, suffering similar fates.
Yeah, Kev, the word for the day is not necessarily rebuilding, but they need to be gradually improving.
And I think they are.
I think so, too.
.139 left to play in the first quarter. Curry against Knight. Knight grabs the board. For the Detroit Pistons, they come in off the loss to the Kings.
I think their attitude going into that game was all wrong. And I think they believed what was being said about them, that it was a game they couldn't win, and they just didn't have any confidence.
I'm not going to go with you on that one, Steve. I don't agree with that. I think they believed in themselves. I just think the talent difference between the teams was far too much for them to overcome.
Max Seal's one of those guys who's undersized in terms of his height, but not his girth. He's really strong in the legs, lower body area, and he can just run right underneath you and kind of root you out on the weak side and get offensive rebounding opportunities.
Yeah, he's just stuck in attack mode at all times. Even when a shot goes up, he doesn't just watch the ball fly toward the hoop. He readies himself to put back in any miss that might come off the iron.
Well, there's a pretty clear picture now of what Detroit is trying to accomplish, and that's build their identity around their young players, guys like Stuckey and Monroe and Brandon Knight. High character, high quality people, and I think Detroit is definitely on the right track if they can continue to make the right personnel moves.
Knight against Curry. If you're just tuning in, we played about 2.5 minutes here in the first. Steve, going back to what you said, the front office just can't say enough positive things about their young players, and it seems the character, in part you're big on this, the character is a big point for them as they bring players in.
That's huge, Kevin. It really is attitude and a solid work ethic. I mean, you can go really far with those attributes, and it's paid off for the Pistons as their young players have continued to improve each year.
Here's Curry, following the basket by Rodney Stuckey. Overnight, Curry, good. Curry's got his second basket.
Well, I don't think you're going to miss too many like those.
16 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Knight against Curry. Now, here is Knight. Defensively by Gay. A nice play. We've seen plenty of offense so far. Playoff spots. Some changes for Golden State. Andrew Bogut, he's checked in for Azir. Lee comes in for Carl Landry. and Rudy Gay is subbed in for Barnes.
Well, Brandon Knight is an athletic combo guard. Spent 1 year at Kentucky, where he took the Wildcats to a Final Four. And for a Detroit team that's already stacked with combo guards, it's a questionable fit. But he's got a bright future in this league. It's just a matter of finding the right situation.
Find him out there with Brandon Knight. Then it's Maggette, and there's Jerebko, and it's Maxiel in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. That's the 5 and the 4 for the Pistons. Curry, good.
I tell you, they might have to make a defensive adjustment. They can't give him that kind of a look from beyond the arc.
The Pistons have gotten only 1 of their first 4 shots in the second quarter to drop. And Brandon Knight can still definitely score, but still developing and proving himself as a playmaker.
Yeah, he really is a guy that takes his craft seriously. As a matter of fact, coming out of high school and even at Kentucky, one of the things that was challenging for his coaches was to help him not strive for such perfection that it was a hindrance. So he's going to continue to work and develop, and he just has to make sure that he's not too hard on himself going forward, because he can be, I think, an excellent guard as a defender and scorer and playmaker.
Maggette. Yes, and Knight with the assist that time. Maggette's got his first 2 points of the night.
That just shows you guys, I mean, he's always in aggressive mode. I mean, he will exploit any opening the defense gives him, and he's always probing, looking for opportunities to attack.
Now here's Curry. Turned in an outstanding game against Atlanta.
Yeah, and he's such a clutch player, too. Big moments with the clock winding down, games up for grabs. That's when he tends to want the ball and create something, and more often than not, deliver.
And his focus when he's shooting, really impressive. I mean, he doesn't get rattled, very composed. Even when the defense is right on top of him, he's still able to knock down shots.
They get it back. Jack passes to Bogut. The second chance effort. Detroit with the rebound. We've got 28 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Here's Knight. Maggette defended by Jack. And that one's good. Maggette's got 4 this quarter.
He didn't get off to much of a start early on, but he seems to have shaken off the rust here in the quarter.
Rudy Gay on the wing, covered by Maggette. And the wing jumper offline.
Well, you know what? You really expect him to knock that jumper down when he gets a good look like that.
From the arc. And no good trying to get that one. And the first half ends in a close one.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
And it's been great back.
We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball. The Pistons leading. Looking ahead, they've got the Jazz coming into town for the next game. That'll be the second of 4 games at home for them. Kicking off the second half, here's Mark Jackson's 5. In the middle, it's David Lee and Andrew Bogut. Curry is out there with Jarrett Jack, and it's Gay in at the 3 slot. Looking at the last game for the Golden State Warriors, it was a win against the Atlanta Hawks.
Well, not too much went wrong for them in that one, especially offensively. I think it worked out pretty much just as they had planned.
Yeah, I thought it was an excellent game plan, and they carried it out very effectively. The kind of game that makes a coach proud.
But the lead just going back and forth here. We're seeing some really good basketball.
You know what, guys? I've lost track of how many times the lead has changed. I mean, it's obvious, though, it's been a good one, and neither side can pull away.
And here's the fast break. Knight leading the way. Monroe down low. Defended by Jack. Knight. Stuckey up top. Over Gay. The offensive rebound. Maxiel dishes to Monroe. Persistence pays off as they finally hit it. There's 47 seconds left here in the third quarter. Cans it from downtown. Curry's got 17.
Fellas, they are heating up from outside now.